Hello and welcome back to Raising the Robins with Carshalton Athletic, Season 5, Episode 3 on Football Manager 2019. I'm KIOTA Gaming, and yeah, so today we've got a game against Aldershot, who are 15th in the league, Vanarama National League of course. Last time out we had that on Episode 2, Tranmere, battling 2-1 loss to the team who were top. But if you haven't seen that, go back and check it out. You know, it kind of details the progress and the changes we've made for this season after the sort of not debacle of the first episode, but certainly no progress made on last season. So yeah, we'll go back and watch that one and you sort of see the direction we're maybe going in a little bit more. For those of you who join us on this financial screen, as we do very regularly, as you can see the overall balance has taken a little bit of a hit. It's not quite as high as it was, although the transfer budget is down to 0 and the wage budget hasn't increased. So yeah, make of that what you will, but we'll catch up on that bit in a minute. We're going to go through first of all and see sort of how the results have gone since the last episode. So we'll flick to those right now. In fact, I'll just show them because it's been quite a good sort of couple of weeks since that last episode. Things are going quite swimmingly. And so yeah, we had Tranmere here, the 2-1 loss. We followed that up with a 2-0 loss to Chesterfield, who were 4th at the time, so another high-flying team in the league, and a team we were expected to, well, get absolutely thumped by again. We were playing very, very well. We'll bring the match stats up because we've actually been very domineering in some of these games. Even with 10 men after 33 minutes, we still had 53% possession of the game. We played very, very well until that sending off, and it really did change the game. In fact, it says it's 39 minutes. I think it's just my eyes gone a little bit bad. But we held on till 70 minutes, and then outside the box, 1-0 Martin Robinson. 3 minutes later, they grabbed another one. We just started to unravel a little bit. We still had a decent number of shots, although many of them from distance and not on target. They did deserve to win, but we did very, very well. We were playing very well up until that red card, and then after that red card, you see them come back into the game, get a lot of shots. But we held on, but the final 20 minutes was just that one step, that one bridge too far, and unfortunately we couldn't carry on. But yeah, not bad performance-wise, you know, taking everything into account. At this point, it's where a lot of the business, the transfer budget started happening. So what we'll do, actually, I'll cut to that now. So we can roll to the Sky Sports News Centre. We'll drop the music in. I'm sure if I'm editing this, I'll drop it in. So the last transfer we saw, I think, was Regan Ganley from Kingstonian for what, about 9k, 9.5k. Very good centre back. He's started off okay for us, not amazing, but okay. Pace is a little bit of an issue, but he's got a lot of other stuff, and he's very capable for this division. He's suited to this division, so he's absolutely fine. So Regan Ganley, we know about him. We've raided Kingstonian a lot, as you can see. The scouts just seem to keep chucking up Kingstonian players left, right and centre. And this guy is actually already Vanarama National, but potential to be League 2 centre midfielder. Very, very good, and we could pick him up relatively cheaply as well. 8k, there's a few clauses in there, but he started like on fire, absolutely on fire. 1 goal in 3 games, 1 player in the match, 7.57, and he's been very, very good in the way we've been trying to play. And sort of slotted into that midfield very, very nicely. We've had a little bit of a jiggle up in midfield. Cluden's moved to the other side. He's come into that role, the deep lying playmaker role that we use, and slotted in very, very nicely. A few things to work on still, but 23, another slightly elder head in there as well. Decent-ish leadership as well, so he could be a contender for a captain or vice captain next year. But yeah, very, very happy with him, as you can see on the reports. Tendency not to fulfill his marking duties is a little bit of a worry, but he's so far the best midfielder in the club by far. 4-star current ability. Good at free kicks, good form, Vanarama National, currently playing full potential, good off the ball movement decisions, all that sort of stuff, can play in competitions, and a smart player. It's what we need. He's taken us to the next level, and a lot of these signings actually fulfil that, and they are real improvements to the team. They're not just, you know, squad players filling out the squad or anything like that. They are real improvements, every single one of them. The next one is another one from Kingstonian, a striker. He came available. He was a bit harder to get this one. He's on £700 a week, which is a lot of money for us. But getting from Kingstonian again, he hadn't had the best vein of form for them, but he's very, very highly rated by my scouts. I thought, you know what, we'll take a punt. Got him for quite cheap. He's still second behind Nathan Clark, but we've got 4, I'd like to say 4 good strikers now. With 2 up front and a 4-4-2, 4 strikers is what's needed. We've got a few players that we just kind of training, so O'Nally and Kulboa are training there, but they're not natural. They're not even in this list. But close to full potential, good for Vanarama National, good pace, composure, which is very important obviously for a striker. Could be changed to the right wing if we need to, physical. But he can't change in the air and he can't leap, but he's playing the advanced forward role generally, or he will be. He's the option there. So yeah, it's it is what it is. It doesn't need that too much. We're not whipping in crosses left, right, and centre particularly. We do a lot of corners and throw-ins. I've been working a lot on them still, so maybe a few more, but at this level it's really not that much of an issue. And then Joe Felix is a right back we were watching back down in the Vanarama South, or Bostik even, I think. He's gone a bit of a journey since he left, well, since we were looking at him, but he's ended up at Kingstonian. He was with them on loan actually, so another Kingstonian link there. But he's played very well since he came in on a free transfer. We offered him a trial. He seemed to impress. The coaches liked him. He was already the top right back, so he's dropped in. We tried to loan someone out. AO Technology's been released. He wouldn't sign still. We didn't want him. We've dropped the other right back who was there, Connor or something, I think. He's gone out. We're trying to get him out on loan, but he's in the under 23s at the moment. Then we've got these 3 vowing for right back spots. Going to try and loan Cabella out as well, possibly, or drop him down to the under 18s. He's the youngest, I think, so needs a bit of game time. So we'll drop him in there, maybe see how he gets on. But yeah, he's got potential to be Vanarama National, but he's already better. He's a leading player for the North and South, so that's an improvement by far what we've already got. Very technical, and he already fits in with the squad, so very, very good to see there. And then the final one is a goalkeeper, Mitchell Allen. This guy was hard to get, but look at his value already, 135k. I don't know if that's partly because the clause I had to put in. So we got him for 6k. We had to adjust our budget, so we had to take some money from the wage budget to put in the transfer to finally get him. They were wanting 10, 12k. We didn't have it. So I did that, and I whacked a massive international clause on. I'm hoping he hasn't got like a second nationality somewhere, but at 22 that's probably not going to happen anyway. But again, he was far and away better than what we had, to the whole star in fact. But when you looked at the comparison with the number 1 goalkeeper, which is Kane Magohi, it's, apart from Ariel, every single spot is massively in favour of Mitchell Allen. So yeah, easy. We were looking for a goalkeeper if we could get one in the summer. We didn't find one. This guy come along. He's playing in the Vanarama National South, in the Southern Premier, sorry, Evo Stick Southern Premier with Paul Town. Yeah, after being released by Plymouth. So at the start of the game, I think he's on a free, goes to Hempstead, the Vanarama South. So a bit of knowledge of it. He has gone to League 2 with Plymouth. Did quite well in his one game there. And then got released on a free to Paul. Dropped down a few levels. Was played quite well. And I think it's a very good signing for us there. He's got a lot of stuff. I mean, he's got 14 aerials, so quite how he's worse than Magohi, I'm not sure, unless he's got like 16 or something. But yeah, very good signing for us there. So that's the signings. So we'll leave the transfer centre and we will fade back into the normal the schedule of what we've been doing. So the next game would be Maidenhead at home. They were 22nd in the table, so we had no shots from them in the first 50 minutes of the game, so we ramped it up, went a bit attacking, and immediately Diaz, I don't think I'm not sure if the change had taken effect yet or they just literally had, but Diaz gets a free kick, 1-0, 53 minutes, and then 2-0 Nathan Clark, 83 minutes rather, but as you can see, absolute domination. Then they had 3 shots all game, 61% possession by us, and yeah, absolute domination in this game. Just a couple of days later we would travel to Wales to face Wrexham, 21st in the league, and Scott Cattermole gave us the lead after 5 minutes, a great start. It was a free kick that came off the bar, off the keeper, and then he just pounced and made it 1-0. 2-0 was O'Rourke on 8 minutes, so you know, real quick double blaster there from us. He stole the ball for defender. He's actually quite good at that. He does nick quite a few balls off, chasing defenders down and winning it back, and he gets a few chances. He probably could have had a few more goals where he's hit them straight at the goalkeeper or hit the post at the bar, that sort of stuff. But he did the job this time and got his goal. 3-0, 25 minutes, Osiuba free kick, walloped it top corner, absolutely stunning free kick, and as you can see we had 60% possession in this game. We did do some bad defending from one of their free kicks. We didn't mark or pick up the short option, walloped it from distance, 3-1. They've got Scott Loach in goal as well, which is I think he was Derby, wasn't he? Watford, I thought he was at Derby. Was he the same one I'm thinking of? Was he the one that was potentially getting linked with England and stuff? I vaguely remember him being quite a hot prospect back in the day. Maybe I've got him mixed up with someone else. But yeah, very good performance. We brought on McNally, did okay. Fraser Scovella did okay, and Twine, I think this is his debut, I think, off the bench. We didn't start him straight away. We stuck with what we knew, and it worked. We got a 3-1 win, great win away from home. The next game was another high-flying team, Boston, away from home, and we were absolutely heavy favourites to lose this game, actually get battered in actual fact. And the first half ended up with us on 70% possession, so that's how this game went. We ended the game on 65. Very even on shots and chances created, that sort of stuff. But O'Rourke nicked one again, got his goal, 37 minutes. We were unlucky not to win by a couple more, but I don't care, a win's a win, and at this stage, beating the team at third, that's a real marker down for what we're doing, and it's a good run that we kept on. Our goalkeeper made his debut in this game as well, got a 7.4 average rating, clean sheet. What else can you say? What a game that would turn out to be. And then the final game before we go in today would be St Albans in the FA Cup, 4th qualifying round at home. We completely rotated, as you can see, in the players. A few of them have still made a decent amount of appearances this season, but it was a full rotation from what we've evolved into. Karoma came back into the fold. Bingham's been moaning about lack of time, but Sal's been awesome, so yeah, whatever. A few players that we've had on loan have dropped in. A few players on actual international duty, which stopped me playing a full rotation. Or maybe I was rotating as much as I would have done, and maybe playing some of the players on loan who have been moaning at from the managers for not playing them. But to be honest, a few of those I'd be happy to get called back. So if they don't play and they're not playing because the players we've got are better, to call them up, we can loan someone in. We had a few players we eyed up who were a bit better, so if we can do that again, that'd be great. But we get through, we're in the hat for the first round, and we do actually draw Rochdale from League 2 away from home. That's next month, so I might do that as the episode, or possibly double back it onto the back of another game in the league. I'm not too sure. See who's sitting around it. In fact, we'll have a look at the schedule now, who's around it. So it's the first game of November. We've got, obviously won't be Maidstone. We've got Ebbsfleet straight after. How are they doing? 5th. If we're still in the hunt as we currently sit as, we'll look at the league in a minute, then yeah, that could be an interesting one to tie on the back. 2 away games, of course. I might just do, if it wasn't the first game of the season, I'd definitely do it as the episode. If it was in here, I'd do it. I quite like to split them up because it gives me more time to get through at work and get ready for the next episode and play through. I don't really, saying that, I'd still going to have to play 1, 2, 3, but then afterwards, for the next episode after that, I'm going to have to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then try and skip into the middle here somewhere. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I might drop it in somewhere, but let's have a look at the league table. We are 7th, 14 games played, 24 points. We are very nicely clear of the bottom 4 places already. Now, don't get me wrong, I think that happened a little bit last season, and it gradually closed in, and we were safe, but it was maybe a little bit closer than it looked like we were going to be. But we're doing what we're doing, and at the moment we're not top, no chance. Are we in for a shout at the playoffs? If we carry on playing for the rest of the season like we are at the moment, I would say absolutely. We're nicking points off the top, we're beating teams down the bottom. We are playing very, very well, and at the moment a playoff place, it wouldn't look too out of place. We have moved up 1 space from, we're still the same odds. I know if Maidenhead have just got worse odds now, but we are above them somehow. I wasn't sure if this was dynamic throughout the course of the season, but it seems to be. But Tranmere, I'm surprised, haven't moved up a bit, because they are flying this year. They're still top. They're 2 points clear. Chesterfield, I think, are the favourites. They're down in 3rd, so not massively out of it just yet. It certainly can't be ruled out. And if we look at, where is it I was looking at? Club, was it? No, it wasn't club. Although, feel free to have a little pause and take a look at that if you want. Where was it I was looking? Is it the board? No, was it training? No, what was the screen I was looking at? Here we go, dynamics. Our match cohesion is very poor. Now, I can assume it's the players we brought in. So the collective state, so there's still some joining up to do, some of the players who have come in to get used to it. Managerial support is excellent. Dressing room atmosphere is good. We've got a few bad eggs. If we can get rid of those as soon as possible, then that will help with that, of course. We've got a few down here. So Lewis Jones, he's in around the first team, but he's not first team level. Harrison Falston he's okay, but he's not as good as what we've got. Scott Catamol, he is getting chances, so that's ridiculous. Adam Welch down in reserves, tried to get him out on loan, no one wants him. Same with Tony Corcoran. And these two top influencers, not in the team at the moment as well, but also they don't really help in intervening in. I don't know if it's something that's a bit more common in this game. Last year on FM18, if you asked them to intervene, they would always resolve it, or very often they would resolve it. I struggle with it a lot on this game, even at Arsenal save. Not a lot of players resolve stuff, but maybe it's because the personalities aren't quite there, and the ones I'm asked to do it, or being asked to do it, aren't good enough. But Popo and Karoma, the team leaders, they've got quite good stats for stuff. they should be having an effect, but it just doesn't work. But without further ado, we're going to jump into today's game against Aldershot, who are, where did we say they were? I think they were 15th. Aldershot, yeah, down here in 15th. They're on 17 points. So average, doing decently well. Not amazing, but you know, a win can propel them up to mid-table. A loss might suck them down a little bit further, but as it stands, they're fairly decently clear as well. So we're going to jump into the lineups for today's game right now. So these are the lineups for today. So they're lining up with 4-4-2 as well. Adeyemi, did he play for Chelsea? Tottenham? I recognise the name. No, maybe I don't recognise him, but he's a real player, so I'm not too sure. I do recognise his name from somewhere. Don't recognise anyone else particularly. Sawunmi, vaguely recognise. I think I saw his name mentioned on my Twitter somewhere today. He must play for someone who's maybe played Carshalton or something. I'm not too sure. I might be wrong with that, but I'm sure I saw his name somewhere today. We've gone with Nathan Clark up front with Fidel O'Rourke. We've got Osir on the left, who's been absolutely... The two wingers have been absolutely brilliant. Osir and Assal really come into form this season. Diaz and Clunan in the middle, again, real superstars. Clunan was playing better when he was in this spot, but Diaz is so much far away better. Clunan isn't the best for this role, but he's been playing really well, so I can't really drop him. I'm not talking about in general. He's rating-wise, he's not the best in general. We've got midfielders with better star ratings, but he's doing the job. Those guys maybe not so much. We've got Boys at left back, Felix at right back, Ganley and Matthews, and then Alan in front. So what we've got in terms of new players this season, the whole back four, I think, the back five, we've got two in the middle, new, and one up front. So very, very new. Yes, that's possibly why that cohesion is a little bit there, but the more games we play, it will tie together. And then we've also got, we can't work out Lewis, I think he's on loan, so he's new. Freitas Gavia's loan, new, sorry, Cabea's new, and Twine, striker from Kingstonian, is new as well. So a lot of new faces to integrate into the team. And again, Popo, I think, is tasked with a lot of that. I'm not quite sure he is very successful at it. But I mean, it's still early days. A lot of them are very new, and some of them are like really, really new. They're all happy with that team talk. So let's go out here and hopefully grab a nice win here and show the cameras, show you guys exactly what we can do, as we're going to pop their formation on screen just in case we can monitor any changes and react to them. Okay, so we've got the first highlight is to them. We hadn't seen any shots from them until 30 minutes. Literally just before this highlight, they popped two away in quick succession, none on target. Not much from us, three shots, none on target as well. So not the most exciting of games so far. We've clawed the possession back. They were dominating the possession by 60 to 40, somewhere like that at one point, but we've clawed it back. And a great ball over the top, and Rourke makes those runs a hell of a lot. Gets his shot away, but Cooney in goal makes the save, and we should have a corner here. We do tend to play a short routine in the main, and it's moderately successful. Eventually teams do start running out and closing it down. Diaz on edge of the box, can he pop it away? No, back to Assal. Can he whip a good ball in here? He does. No one's really there. Clark chases it when really 21 Boys, I think, should have had the better chance to get on the end of it, but it's the end of highlight, unfortunately. It's a free kick. Osiri does like to whip these in. He hits Cooney, and it's cleared away. Again, we've got some good throw-in setups done, but we don't get the throw-in today, unfortunately. It's another short corner. There they go. They charged out this time. Riley down to Clunan, and the goalkeeper came out to get the cross, so he's left in no man's land, stranded. Open goal for Clunan, and he finds the finish, and it's a great finish on 40 minutes just before half time. So we take Osiu to Assal, who whips it in first time with his weak foot, but it just drops keepers nowhere, and Clunan just rolls it into the bottom far corner. 1-0 to Carshalton, and we are rocking. We're up to 7th. We were 7th. We must have dropped with latest results, but we're back into 7th. Just as we go into half time as well. Good timing, so I can carry on this trail of thought and trail of conversation without having to keep stopping and cutting for you. So let's go. Here we go. Get into half time. 7 shots, 4 on target. We fouled a lot. Good possession. So we're struggling possession in the opposition half. Jack Shaw lost possession more than anyone else in the team. Who's Jack Shaw? Who's Jack Shaw? We'll have a look in a minute. I don't think... He's not one of ours. Was that analysis of their team, perhaps? It must have been. Or was I just completely misreading that? I am absolutely shattered. Sunday night. Been a long old day. Went to a children's party yesterday evening. Did I record after that? I think I might have done. I can't even remember. I think I might have done. Wednesday's episode, maybe. I'm not too sure. And absolutely shattered. Sunday has just flown by. Getting ready for Monday, new week at work, a lot of editing, a lot of playing hopefully if it's quiet. Clark, oh great finish, 2-0. And we are rocking. The War Memorial Stadium is absolutely rocking. And it's actually a nice touch. I was walking actually down in Carshalton today, took the daughter out for the day, took her to Bedderton Park, and they got a little war memorial there by the ponds. And Carshalton Football Club have actually got a reef in the grounds there. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, obviously haven't mentioned it, but yeah, good to see that they're involved in all that sort of stuff and dropping the reef down. Absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of good work going on in that area and a lot of stuff being laid down and kept new and all that sort of stuff, so it's good to see. It's a free kick, Molyneux will take it, Allen makes the save and Matthews gets away. We are so much more tight and compact at the back now. It's a combination of the way we're playing now, we've got the 2 banks of 4, but also the players we brought in. It's just taken us to a much higher level of play, as we no doubt will concede from a corner now. Yeah, there we go. Tom Adjemi, we talked about him at the start of the game. He's picked one back for them. It is a corner, it's too easy, far too easy. He's just been able to charge in late, Swindon, the 2 we talked about in actual fact, and he's unmarked at the back post, and it's 2-1. And we're going to make some subs here, so Rook's not had the best game, so Twine's going to come in for him. And who else isn't having, he was playing badly particularly. I wonder if we can get maybe, if he has a bit of a quiet game for him, so we'll maybe bring Alien. He seems to do quite well in that role, and maybe Gouveia of Ossios. He's not been quite as much of a threat as he can be today. About 5 minutes to go here, not much else has happened. And I didn't touch on it. I think I did record yesterday because I remember having this trailer thought and I didn't mention it. If my voice sounds a little bit funny, I've got another cold sore throat coming down. I think I might have called it at the kids' party. Oh no, it's going to happen, isn't it? It has. 92nd minute, we've conceded a howler. It's another set piece. It's bigging us up for what we've been doing, but we're on cautious already, so I don't have too much need to shut up shop. There's not much more shop we can shut. But yeah, unfortunately we just get beaten from another set piece. Oh, can we nick a late one here? Maybe Twine beats his man very nicely. Clark, can you make the run? Oh, he had to find him. Boys, oh, how do you stop that highlight there? Come on, referee. But 2-2, I mean, they're below us. It's not great. But, I mean, we're still in a position and mood where to take any points we can get. If we're not losing, I'm happy. We're not going to go down if we just keep grabbing points here and there. So let's see schedule wise where we're going to come back. We've got some teams below us again coming up, so we've got a game in a couple of days, so we might have to rotate there or rotate for one of them anyway. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure the rotated team just yet, they're not quite there, but we still keep 7th. We are a lot of teams on 25. We've slipped, I don't think Tranmere I think drew, or so yeah, they drew as well, so we haven't... Oh, Wrexham, I could have done with Wrexham Luke getting thumped there, to be honest. But what are we now? 15 points clear of 21st. That's pretty good in October. If we can just keep that growing, we could be safe by, Christmas, hopefully. Never going to be completely safe because there's a lot of games in the new year, but yeah, the ones down here are looking very, very cut off and stranded already, which wasn't the case so much last season. It was a lot closer. I seem to recall anyway. It was a long time ago I recorded those episodes. So yeah, we're going to go play Barrow and Maidstone offline. We may come back for Rochdale with the FA Cup. I'm not too sure. Depends how far I get at work tomorrow. If I can get to, I don't know, maybe Barnet, then I might go for that, I think. Just to break up this month a little bit more and leave it as not so much of a task to get ready for the next episode down here somewhere. Again, I don't know who that'll be. Harrogate, I think, is sort of getting back to the point where we've gone full circle and going into the second half of the season. Yeah, Boxing Day pretty much. So yeah, trying to forward think a little bit, but yeah, we'll try and get as far as we can, possibly. But then December is a fairly shortish month, so if we do this one, okay, there's a good run needed here to get into it. We'll maybe then drop Chester in, and yeah, I'll figure it out. But anyway, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like down below. If you're new around here, please drop a sub to the channel as well. Be absolutely fantastic. Very grateful for that as well. And any comments you've got about this season so far, how do you think we're progressing now? Let me know your thoughts. I think I asked at in the last episode how you think we're going to do this game this season. A bit more data for you to work with now. Yeah, you've seen a bit more the way the team likes to play. Not ideal against St Albans, and we weren't amazing against Aldershot. But in general, it's been a pretty good run. It's been a pretty good October, which in historical terms is a pretty bad month for the team I support, Arsenal. It's normally a bad month. There's not many good months generally, but lately, but yeah. So until next time, for which I think is going to be somewhere in here. Well, it's going to be somewhere in November. I'll see you later. Take care.